The demon that possessed this girl may have been exorcised, but it never left this place. YouTube channel Chamos investigates this abandoned house in which a girl underwent her exorcism. This is what happened. First, the presentation.
Barulho? Tem alguma coisa aí, velho? Cara, tem um bicho. Opa! Esse, se afasta. Isso, meu Deus! Olha isso, cara!
Why is the demon presenting this terrifying toy doll? It also moves a chair.
Meu Deus, cara! Mexeu ali, velho.
A moment later, the baby crib is gone.
Cara do céu!
Things keep moving.
Cara, e essa menina de novo? Cara. Olha isso! Meu Deus, cara.
Notice the sound, you'll soon see what it is.
Olha só o poder desse demônio, velho. Oh, meu Deus do céu, velho. Sai daí, cara. Olha aí, velho. Tá maluco, cara?
Later, as they're getting a reading on their K2, something even creepier unfolds.
Que é aquilo lá? Olha isso, cara. Meu Deus do céu, velho. Olha isso. Que é isso, velho? Vocês estão vendo isso, cara? Meu Deus do céu, velho. Meu Deus do céu. Cara do céu, velho.
Was that doll floating, descending, or is it ascending to new heights? No matter what the answer is, I'd be getting the heck out of this place ASAP. A YouTuber named Ghost Chic believes she has a problem in her home of the paranormal variety. One day her dog just starts patrolling the living room, as if on guard even though there is nothing out of the ordinary and no strange noises. I'm wondering if it is annoyed by something on television, or at something we can't see standing there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Whatever it is, he seems satisfied that it's gone for now, but then he tries to track it. Meanwhile, notice how the smaller dog doesn't seem to care at all.
Is everything okay?
It's definitely weird, although maybe it could have just been a bug or something, but still, that doesn't explain how on a different day, both of her dogs get up to see who's at the door. The door opens and I think I might see a shadow pass through, though it could be the outside light. As soon as she's coming in to see what's wrong, the barely discernible orb passes overhead, unseen to her at the time, but caught on camera nonetheless. And when she later goes ghost hunting using a Kinect in the same room, she detects a spirit by the window.
I went up pan so you can see that there's no one else over there with her. No one's on my curtain.
Then something eerie happens. So is this a paranormal encounter? Or is this person waving their hand at 38 seconds, also moving it with their hand during this part? I'll let you decide. One door shuts, another opens. YouTuber Just Paranormal published this video in March of 2018. One of the dudes in the video says this paranormal footage was filmed in his home. This shot was directed at him in the darkness, and over his shoulder behind him, a door slowly swings closed on its own. They were renovating the bathroom, which is where the door closed. The man explains that the house was once owned by his mother-in-law, although they don't know whether or not anyone passed away in the home. His sister-in-law dabbled in witchcraft in high school, and as the boys note, you never know what you're getting yourself into with that stuff, and this may have contributed to the strange happenings occurring within the home. At the time, he's been documenting all the events occurring in his home, and when he heard footsteps, he started filming. This is why he was able to capture the door closing on video. He then runs over to the the door, opening it to find no one there. There's no fishing line on the doorknob. To cover all the bases, he explores his home the next day to see if air vents could explain the door closing. Nothing natural seems to explain this event. Could it be supernatural? What do you think? The roads in Guwahati, India are apparently haunted. Just ask Abhinash Kishore, aka the Mind Hunter. He pulls up behind a vehicle with an extreme background story that I'll get into in just a second. First, try to translate what he says about this truck, and then I'll tell you what I was able to research.
Guys, ঘুৰি থাকোতে থাকোতে ভূত বিচাৰি থাকোতে থাকোতে এইখন সন্মুখত কি গাড়ী দেখা পাইছে নে ৰবা ভালকে দেখুৱাই দি আছো গাড়ীখন অলপ আগুৱাই দিয়া
Okay, so get this. I did some deep digging and found out that this truck is actually the only hearse service offered in the area. Before this company came to be, people used to carry the departed to the nearest graveyard. As an extra bonus, on this blog post, I found information on 3 extremely creepy but also saddening comments requesting the service as soon as possible. That means within this metal container could be someone passed away. So when he finds not 1, but 2 of these vehicles lined up in the middle of nowhere, he knows that something really bad must have happened, and he better not stick around for long. Unfortunately for him, the time to leave safely has already passed.
Stop.
The Mindhunter's assistant gets scared and drives off, but the Mindhunter will have none of it and makes him return. There is another brief sighting until the figure fades away into darkness. This alleged ghost sighting caught on video could simply be a third member of the group, but since it happens not far from where they found the abandoned vehicles that could have had passed away people inside, it could be real. There's something unnatural in this yard. Can you tell what it is? Published by Ghost Chanel in April of 2022. You can see a white object moving in the darkness. The object is a little figure. The figure's arms reaches out, and then this happens. Reaching out his arms moves the cart back. After moving it back again, the ghost disappears from view, only to reappear on the other side of the cart. A moment later, he is sleeping on it. Are these phantom powers being used for good or evil? They seem to be just for fun. Sometimes you can just sense evil in places, sometimes in your very own home. Posted in the very spooky video subreddit by Big Daddy Marco, the Redditor writes that he is quarantined in a haunted house. Originally published to YouTube by Donnie Drunkard, he writes, "Since being in quarantine, the paranormal and haunted activity has manifested in poltergeist activity on an almost daily basis. I believe the entity is demonic in nature." Terry explains that this is an update and recap of footage caught on his live stream. He also says that he thinks there's more than one spirit in his home. Using a paranormal tool that captures movement, the recap shows that something is indeed present in the hallway, and its presence is made known on more than one occasion. The kinetic image appears. In the last clip, he tells the thing to leave, and after a moment it does as he commands.
Trespass against us. I'm shaking so bad right now, man.
It disappears from the monitor. Some in the comments suggest that Terry get a demonologist into his home to take this thing on. What would you do if you sensed, heard, and saw a demonic spirit in your home? Would you stay or would you go? This mysterious creature sighting is rumored to have been caught on the cell phone camera of a farmer somewhere in India who kept hearing scary noises coming from the woods nearby. When he goes to the edge of the forest, all he can hear is crickets. But it's not because he's alone. Far from it. It's because the mysterious creature is silently waiting not too far away. This could be a Wendigo, a skinwalker, or some other creature that's unknown. Assuming that this is not computer effects, I have little doubt that the creature would have descended upon the farmer from the treetops had he not spotted it with his cell phone camera first. At 49 seconds, its mouth is wide open, and it looks ready to pounce. Mature footage was shot somewhere in an underground sewage system. The cameraman is presumably a maintenance worker who is wearing a chest cam. Little did he expect to find a humanoid down there with him. The video begins with the cameraman seemingly frozen in place. The camera is very still, as if the maintenance worker is too afraid to move. Maybe he heard a noise and is waiting for a creature to reveal itself. Suddenly, a pair of floating eyes peer at him from the distance. The eyes appear to belong to some sort of nocturnal predator. They reflect so much light that all you can see are two gigantic white dots that are roughly as wide around as flashlights. The humanoid does not appear to have much experience with humans and seems apprehensive as it peers around the corner. It decides to run away and the cheap camera cuts out before we can see any more of the chase. The creature seems incredibly fast and probably got away, but exactly what happened next is anyone's guess. The video footage survived, so the cameraman probably did as well. Then again, maybe they recovered it from his dead body instead. There's just not enough information out there to say for sure. Lights over Reno had some people up in arms, but there may be a logical explanation. Redditor Practical Book 3293 shares the scary footage of the incident.
Call your mom and dad. What is that?
While most would likely be as startled as the guy filming, don't worry, it's probably not extraterrestrials.
It's stopping to shine.
If you take a look at the still image of Starlink, you can see the resemblance. This is the likely explanation to me. Or is it a fleet of extraterrestrial, unidentified flying objects mimicking Starlink to incept our world? Whatever you choose to believe. Basements are inherently creepy, but this basement's resident shadow person will make your skin crawl. A shadow person was caught on camera in a Pennsylvania basement on December 15th, 2016. The YouTuber writes, "For the last few months there have been weird bangs and noises in our basement. Sounds like someone is walking up and down our steps." He goes on to say that his wife thought it was their cats at first, since their litter box is in the basement, but on the night in question, their cats were upstairs in their daughter's room, and their dog was in his cage in the kitchen, whining about the basement noise. He brought a camera to prove to his wife that the cats weren't making this noise, which had started out of nowhere a few months prior. "This thing I caught on camera, I'm at a loss over," he writes. "Now I am terrified in this house." As he heads down the stairs to the basement, a shadow person peers around the corner, frightening the man.
I know I heard you. Oh my God.
He runs down the stairs at it, trying to catch it on camera up close, but it disappears around the corner and isn't caught again. YouTuber Wyoming Oregon points out, if you pay attention to when he first turns the cam, around right before he cuts on the lights, it was standing there on the stairwell and ran down the stairs. Most confirm Wyoming's take, with many agreeing it was extremely creepy. Others say they've seen these shadow people in real life before. The uploader notes that they've decided to move after watching this video, as they don't want to raise their daughter in a haunted house. After seeing this, can you blame them? A YouTube series called The Undervlogs follows Rachel, Kiva, Tyler, and Derek on their various adventures. This time, they're split up on a competitive scavenger hunt, checklist twist and all, in a creepy 1908 children's hospital that's been abandoned since 1998, Tyler and Derek are goofing around, but things become tense when they notice a creepy clown head with dripping red eyes that could be a warning of what's about to come their way. They sense something wrong and run away, and that's when, approximately 10 seconds later, this shadowy figure looks out at them, roughly the same height as the clown graffiti in the doorway, so I'm glad they followed their instincts and left fast. Something is haunting the lobby of England's Brighton Museum, according to those who work there. This creepy moment, caught on CCTV video at 3 a.m., could be the paranormal proof they need to be taken seriously. The camera captures a bright light and then a souvenir mysteriously falls to the ground with no one near, kind of like a ghost moved the object, employees would later say. I think the quote-unquote mysterious light could be a glass object reflecting light as it falls over. Maybe the shelf is a little unlevel. Maybe an employee or a visitor put it too close to the edge. I am 50-50 on this one, and we'll be sure to keep an eye out for other paranormal events caught on camera at this possibly haunted museum. While planting trees, a YouTube channel called Homesteading Off the Grid accidentally records the eerie cries of something shrieking deep in the forest. If you know what kind of animal this is, let me know, because many people claim this sounds like some kind of mix between a human and an animal.
Did you hear
like
that?
screaming at me, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They don't hear anything for another 6 minutes and decide to stop recording. If this was a person, it sounds like they were in serious need of help. Nevertheless, that shriek is enough to give anyone chills. Two friends think they may have recorded the presence of a spirit when they entered a graveyard late at night. Here's their evidence. Look at the back row of tombstones on the right and focus on the one that's closest to the road.
I only see what's in front of us. We'll turn my show off.
An intense source of light plays over the gravestone. It could be a reflection of their headlights bouncing off some glass, but something seems a little off about the angle, and if this gravestone was not made of glass, then there's absolutely no explanation for this video. Let me know if you think this is real, or if they got fooled by their own car.
I only see what's in front of us. We'll turn my show.
When walking alone in the wilderness, you generally don't want to run into anyone at all, let alone someone perched in a place you'd least expect them. That's exactly what happened to this individual, whose footage was posted to YouTube in August of 2014. The person appears to be walking in a rather remote forested area. Ahead stands a blocked stone tunnel, and sitting atop the concrete is someone dressed in a white shirt facing the tunnel's interior. What are they doing there, and why? Reaching this depth of the forest, or that tunnel itself, are quite difficult tasks. The cameraman doesn't wait to find out, and probably rightly so. He backs away slowly, before turning around and moving quickly out of there. Some locals in the comments insist to never approach that area, saying this is really serious, never go. I gotta agree, better safe than sorry. A YouTuber named Musafir Vlogs is biking through India late at night when something causes his bike to stop working. They later claimed during this part to have felt a spirit close by, and upon starting their bike heard a voice. I'm not sure if I hear it or not, but since this video has a lot of likes and so many people who claim to hear it, maybe I'm just not listening correctly. I think I might hear a gulping noise at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Almost like someone taking their final breaths underwater. Tell me what you hear. While staying overnight at the Old City Jail in Bridgeport, Illinois, YouTuber Kalani Ghost Hunter and his wife Savannah immediately feel creepy vibes.
Was inside of here, and it...
Yeah, I kind of heard that too.
This jail is reputed to house a demon, and Savannah feels it touch her.
Jump. I feel like something kind of brushed their finger across my face, but then I thought maybe it could be a bug, but you can see me jump because it felt like a finger. It did not feel like a bug, so.
As they later record a conversation with the demon, they receive a strange response on their recording device.
Oh, it literally said it touched your face.
Oh my.
Later, they ask the demon to reveal himself.
Can you show yourself to me, please? Can you walk through that door?
On the count of 3, if you're a demon.
The whole thing is...
In my opinion, that certainly is a yes, and I think this demon may be reaching over from the other side, likely for dark and nefarious purposes. An old woman is said to haunt the village of Arai, and YouTuber Han Kardashler and his team are here to investigate. As they set out to explore, they hear strange noises in the thick fog.
Sesini duyuyor musun arkada? Aşağıdan geliyor.
There was a figure down that road, but it could simply be a person. Still, it looks creepy to me, and that's made even creepier when the cameraman later sees an old woman behind him.
Hemen arkamda bir tane yaşlı bir kadın. Gidiyorum orada. Görüyorum.
They return to the haunted village at night, and through the window of this haunted house, they see an old lady.
Evet. Kim var? Bir iki kişilerin. Belki de şuradan gireceğim. Fark edersin. Oradan da pencereyi kapat.
Is it the old lady? The guys think this woman is alone in here, talking to herself, but I see another woman sitting next to her.
Bir kadın var mı? Tekti bu arada. İki kişilerin. Bu ne anlatıyor olan diye görünmüyor. Gözükmüyor işte. Neyi anlatıyor acaba? Bilmiyorum ki. Kanka tek kişi o kanka.
If this place is supposed to be abandoned, then it's creepy that these women are hosting some sort of gathering here. But otherwise, I think the guys should continue looking for their old lady ghost. Uday Hindi is exploring an old building when he comes across a little girl staring at him from the corner of the room.
والله خايف أدخل ما كانت هذيك بسم الله.
The door furthest away from both of them shuts all by itself before he gets a chance to investigate. Despite this, Uday Hindi bravely pushes into the next room and discovers she is not a girl, but rather a creepy life-size doll. He roughly handles the doll from room to room and throws it on the floor, and that's when the doll decides it's had enough.
يا إخوان أنا انسحبت من المغامرة مش خوف ولكن أنا تأذيت كثير.
I saw no strings when the doll moved, did you? Anyway, he is busy analyzing some strange and possibly demonic markings on the doll when suddenly this happens. Watch and try and translate what he says shortly before it goes all wrong.
طلع يا إخوان حتى الإشي داخلي.
This part I feel like could have been from the way the doll was leaning on the wall before it fell, but the incident before that I feel could be quite real. Strange sky sighting was caught on camera flying over Bavaria, Germany in broad daylight. I noticed some weird things about the audio, but first, try and translate this mysterious conversation from German to English if you can.
Nein, das ist...
I know that 9 means no, but I don't understand what was being asked. Anyway, aside from that, listen again to the weird noise that the object itself makes.
Nein, das ist...
I guess it kind of looks like it could be a jet plane, but the wings are too big and it really doesn't sound like one. Tell me if you think this was an experimental aircraft caught on tape or a strange sky sighting of something from another solar system. This is not a drone caught on video, but at the same time I'm curious as to what this actually is. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.